Good morning everyone, welcome back to another video. So I did the final coat of Osmo on the bedroom floor this morning, but I'm now at the convent because I want to spend just a couple of hours Osmoing all of the oak fronts for the kitchen units. And that shouldn't take too long. We'll try and get as much done as possible, and then we'll go back to the chateau and we'll catch up with my brother Michael, who is sealing the terrace for the chateau basement kitchen. And it's quite funny because as one kitchen project comes to an end, we're starting another one. So we better crack on. So it's taken 2 hours, but I've managed to Osmo all of the oak doors and drawers for the kitchen units. And I've also done the backs of them as well. And the colour is looking a lot darker, which is much more pleasing to the eye. They look a lot richer. And yeah, rather than just sort of like a pale oak colour. Regarding all the comments yesterday about why I didn't Osmo the sides and the backs, is because they're all getting cut, everyone. They're being cut here on the backs and along the sides over there. So there's no point Osmoing them if Paddy is just going to cut them down to size. But just before they're fitted, we will go around the sides and do a coat of Osmo. Also, comments regarding the brand of sink, which is Shards. And these are the Butler 1000. They do different models, different sizes. They're not that deep though, surprisingly. They're only about 25 centimeters deep. So from standing, you can actually put your hand in there. You're not really bending over too much. The shorter you are, the better they are. I'm just over 6 foot, so it's a little bit of bending over maybe, but like I said, we have got the dishwasher. But it's nice that we've got 2 sinks. One can be for cleaning things and the other can be for washing up. So maybe preparing vegetables, meat, I don't know, something like that. Also, I forgot to mention yesterday that the baseboard underneath all the units, that hasn't been fitted yet. but it will look very similar to something like that, which will be in oak, which will need osmoing as well, which is going to be fantastic. Yeah, I'm really, really, really happy with it. I'm glad I came down here and did the first coat. They'll all need a second coat, but I'll do the last coat when I do the worktops as well. Really, really nice. This monstrosity needs fitting still. I still haven't had time to go out and look for a piece of furniture that it can sit on, which is going to go here, a bit like a coffee station. Also, all of the locks and handles I haven't ordered yet for all of the doors, including the exterior door. I haven't got any of them yet. The flue for the extractor is going to go all the way up through the ceiling into the floor cavity and then outside, because this is an incredibly powerful extractor. If I turn it on, it's very loud. Incredibly loud. And when people are cooking, it'd be nice to send all of the fumes or smells outside. I haven't done these two yet. Didn't have time. The 2 hours is up. I've got to go back because I need to try and wrap up this video as quick as possible, because I've probably got 2 hours of editing still. So yeah, it's still nice to come down here and get stuff done. So I'm going to go back now, pack up my computer, go back to the chateau. That looks like a lot of work, Michael.
It's a lot of work. It's hard on the knees, although I've got knee pads, thankfully.
Yeah.
And it's going to take till the end of the month, I think, at least.
Yeah.
Do. But at least this part will be sealed when
Yep.
when the guy comes, Martin comes to sandblast it. But it's a lot of work, but it'll be worth it, because it's going to last a long time.
It will last a long
So
time.
what is a few months off of like 20 years, you know?
Yeah.
So.
But I really look forward to the sandblasting stage of this renovation.
Yeah. Although I've done this area, apart from this bit, because it was full of water the other day, I've done this area, and when it rained, it was still leaking here. But it wasn't dripping. The water wasn't dripping through in exactly the same way. What was happening is, if you see here,
Yeah.
the water. There's no gutters. It was designed so that the water runs off of the roof, straight onto the terrace. And
Yeah.
obviously the water's going into here, into these cracks, and then it's just running under where I've got to, and then it's creeping under the stones and then dripping through.
Yeah.
But it is, once I get to the centre point, this side should stop leaking.
Yeah, that's what I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you stand down on the floor level and get level with it with your eyes, you can see that it falls this way,
Yeah.
and the highest point is the centre. It also falls that way, but as you can see, it's also sloping down.
Yeah.
And it
there's
also
a drop
slopes
of
down
about
there.
6 to 7 inches on here compared
Yeah.
to that end. So all the water is designed to run into each corner,
Yeah.
and there's a drain in each corner which runs below the floor level of the basement kitchen and into a drain system that runs under all the floors.
Yep.
Which then runs off into the tunnel we found last year.
But also, let's explain about, if we go down the steps and explain about the double wall cavity between the kitchen wall.
Now, it's fantastic the way it was designed, because although the water leaks through the terrace at the moment, it never meant to, it won't after we've finished, it doesn't leak through the walls.
No.
So what you've got, this stone wall,
Yeah.
obviously here it's faced with lovely granite,
Yeah.
but below the floor level it'll just be rough stone. And that goes all the way down below the floor level of the kitchen.
Yeah.
But there's a gap all the way down.
There's two walls.
There's two walls. So there's this wall,
Yep.
and then there's a space,
Yep.
which is covered here. And then there's another wall,
Yep.
and then those walls are tied together with stones inside.
Yep.
And you can see here, these are drains. They're all the way around the terrace.
Yep, they're all the way around. Let me try and lift it up. You can't really see down there, everyone, but that is the thickness of the cavity.
Yeah, so it's basically a double skinned wall, which stops, so any water runs behind the second wall and not through this wall.
Yep.
But also, that air gap acts as a really good insulation. So it's actually, if you go down into the basement kitchen, it's never cold down there. It's always quite warm. So it was designed really, really well. And obviously, when it was built, I'm absolutely certain the terrace was watertight.
Yeah.
But obviously, apparently, it lasted about 40 years before it failed. And they've tried to patch it up in the last 80 years. But unfortunately, it hasn't worked. Not permanently.
No.
So hopefully, this is a new product for a new age.
Yeah.
And hopefully this will be more efficient, because concrete and lime mortar are not waterproof.
No.
They're water resistant, but they're not waterproof. But this is.
Yeah.
Epoxy is completely waterproof.
Yeah.
Providing it gets a good fix to the stone. That's why I'm using primer.
The old windows certainly haven't lasted, have they?
No. Although
they're rotten.
I'm not sure why they put these bars there. I don't think they're for security.
They are definitely for security.
I think so.
Because, say there's no one living in the chateau for a period of time. Well, someone could break that bit of glass and slither down there.
Yeah, because all of the shutters originally were put on for security. So they could close all the shutters. They were locked from the inside. They were metal, so difficult to get through them. They were attached to the window frames.
Yeah.
So obviously, I think that is for security. But also, it's great because if the window's open, a child can't fall through.
Yeah.
Also, it's difficult to maybe kick the glass and then break it that way.
Of course.
So it does feel a bit like a prison down there, but they are an original feature.
Yeah.
They'll be painted and kept as they are. So
Fantastic. Well, thanks for the explanation.
yeah. I'll just wait for that to dry, and then I'll be able to put some more of the grout in.
All right, then. Well, I'll catch up with you tomorrow, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously I'm following the progress of this kitchen as well as you are, so
Yeah.
it's interesting for everyone to see.
But the only thing is, once it's all done, the whole facade of it will have to be repointed as well.
Yeah, we can do that.
But
Not a
that'll just
problem.
be lime mortar, so it's a bit easier to work with.
All right, then. Thanks a lot.
Right, okay.
Better crack on, mate.
Yeah, I'm cracking on. Always cracking on.